Hey everyone, Colin here, and just wanted to take a look at what we're seeing so far. The market's about to open in another couple of hours, so we wanted to just go ahead and get ahead of things so we can take a look at what we're seeing so far. So here in the Euro USD, as we can see, and excuse if you hear some noise in the background, guys, that's my kids playing in the other rooms. But here, of course, we can see Euro USD big drop, which really just evened out this parabolic move right here. Ultimately, we can see that Euro USD has been in an uptrend, right? It's been in an uptrend. It just kind of broke that uptrend just now. Ultimately, where do I think it's going? Ultimately, I think it's making its way up. It's gone past the 50-day, gone past the 100-day, and so I expect it to. Usually when you see this happen, it wants to go up and at least make contact with the 200-day, which at this point, looking across, would meet around this support and resistance level here. But for right now, will it go down some more? It could. On the daily, of course, there's still room for it to go down a bit further. However, when we're talking about in the closer future, looking here on the 4-hour over the next day or two, we see that it has actually hit some strong support right here because, of course, right here, and it bounced up. Then it came down again and it started to retrace from this point. So we're paying very close attention to what's happening right here with this 50-day moving average, right? So we're paying close attention to what's happening to it right here. It could, in terms of if it's coming any further down, it could come down to 13,920. Which is the 200-day. If we look at that on the daily, let's see if we get any confirmation here. 830, right? On the 4-hour, it was 13,920. So in this range, it could come back down here in terms of correcting. But ultimately, this week, I think it definitely wants to head upwards to make contact with the 200-day. So we'll watch and see what's going on with that, okay? Let's see. Let's look at another pair. We have here Great Britain Pound USD. So ultimately, we see that it definitely wants to make its way up to make contact with the 100-day moving average. This, once again, we see that it's been in an uptrend. Huge candle up here, and it started to retrace a bit. Lots of room to go up on the daily. You see it's been steadily moving up on the daily chart. Let's zoom in for the more immediate future. On the 4-hour, we see that it hit a nice area of resistance here, because if we look across, this was resistance here, support here, still some resistance around this area. So this entire zone has been a significant level. So it may, right, it may be coming down a little bit to cool off. As we zone in, we realize it was a little bit of a white candle here. Not sure how much further that's coming down, but there's definitely some strong influence for it to continue moving up as well. Over here on the 4-hour, let's zone in on the 1-hour. So on the 1-hour, we see that it actually came down here, which also was a level of support, resistance. So it's fighting with this little area right here. If it breaks past that, I don't see why it wouldn't go back down to down here before it continues its journey up. But of course, you look and see how that's interacting. That is much more short term because we're looking on the hourly candle, right? 4-hour candle, we're in over, just came out of overbought territory. So we could be having a little correction. I would expect it to come down to about here. That's what I've seen as the strongest level of support that it would be, as it came down here just before that. So somewhere just around this level, we see some strong support in that zone. Okay. Let's look at another pair. Let's see. Okay. Pretty much the same thing here. Okay, let me excuse all of these. These are, support and resistance lines. Okay. So this wants to journey up. Obviously, it already came up here to this level of resistance. Why was it resistance? Because previously support, 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 support. All through here, you can clearly see that this is a significant level. Okay, so it will battle with that a couple of times. At this point, I wouldn't put in a trade right now. I need to wait and see how it reacts to this. If it goes over this 100-day moving average and gets past here, then I don't see anything much stopping it from going up towards the 200-day. Okay, that's USD Swiss franc. Yeah, okay. USD Japanese yen. All right, just crossed the 200-day, right? Moving up from the 50-day as well. Just crossed the 100 and the 200-day. That's usually a pretty good sign for continuing to go up. Why would it be continuing to go up? Because what goes up must come down, what goes down must come up. We had a massive drop from all the way up here, 108, call it 108.875. Took a trip down 107.815. So just a little over 1,000 pips. It's already crossed the halfway point, and now it looks like it's making its way up to kind of recover from that parabolic move down. So I would be looking for this to go up once again, but this is a significant resistance line right here. As you can see, it just barely went past here and it came back down. So I'm looking for it to get past here first. Gets past here, then I would be looking, right? You could do a trade around here, a buy 635. It would be some resistance right here. You might have a retracement at 700, or if you waited for it to go above here, 789 to about 902. Those are some pretty safe trading zones as well. Like I said, ultimately on this, and we still see, and this is the 1 hour, plenty of room to go up. The 4 hour, plenty of room to go up as well. This gives probably an even better view actually. 109.486. So with this breaking through the 50-day over here, like I said, I'd look for it to, I'm going to watch and see how it interacts right here with the 937, which we got confirmation on that just now looking at the 1 hour chart. All right, so that's a significant level right here. But this looks like it's definitely breaking up to go up to this level. And if it gets past 154, then, up to 447, that's almost 300 pips for a trade right in between there. But I would look for it to definitely want to come up and make contact with the 100-day. By the time it gets up there, the 100-day moving average may come closer down to this level, because of course in here we see where there's more support and resistance right in between here. But it looks like it's trying to make its journey up on the USD Japanese yen. Okay. So this is a nice bounce with the euro Swiss franc. So it got support off the 100-day, came up. It's coming back down to test the 100-day again. What is it trying to do ultimately? Ultimately, it's trying to break through here and get back down to the 50-day, which is where this parabolic move really started. It was a massive move up. 1, 2, 4, 4, 5, 1, 3, 3, 8, 9. So almost 1,000 pips right there. That happened in the space of 1, 2, 3, 4. So about 24 hours. But it has come down now to just about the halfway mark. So that 50% retracement. So it could, just in terms of cooling off, maybe come up a little bit more and then continue heading down. But once again, I would look to see what the reaction is, whether or not it breaks through this 100-day moving average. Then I would look to see it coming back down, all the way back down. 650. It's a little over 100 pips. So it's kind of a close trade right here. But it could look to come down here and then move back up. Let's see where, let's get a bigger picture look. Okay. Okay, it's interesting. So, wow, we see from this is a huge daily candle. So at this point, I don't see, there's not enough of what I would be looking for at this point to make a trade. I would still, just keep an eye on this and see where it goes, but it doesn't have enough of what I'm looking for in terms of making a trade. This is looking pretty good. So as it comes down here, we could definitely look at a bounce. Wow, just anywhere around here really. It's a significant candle. Could come down as far as right here and right here to the 100-day moving average. Okay, which is not that far. It's another 300 pips or so. But as we see here, this is a very significant level. We've seen a lot of resistance here. Resistance, 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 resistance. So remember, once we break through resistance, it then becomes support. That's why you saw the support bounce right here. It's come down to test it again. So let's see what's going on. I mean, I would look for another bounce, either right off of this level or just a little bit further down. I would look for another bounce, even if it wants to head down for a bit. Zooming out, we can see that this has been it's coming from a significant level of resistance here, and even through all these candles, it's always had a significant drop every time it got around this level. So we see some significance here. So this is what we're looking at, guys. With this, it's on its way down on the daily chart. Okay, so we're gonna have to look for that. So like I said, still at this point, I would have to look, and I would just have to watch this a little bit more, because when I make my trades, I look for a number of things, and the more of those particular things on our checklist that we see, that is what really encourages me to make a trade. And it's very important in Forex for you to be patient, have a trading strategy, and trade only when you see the exact conditions that you want for your strategy. That's when you're supposed to do your trade. But this is not looking bad for a bounce, as we can see here as well. Just in this particular area, this is a significant area. So that's the Euro, Great Britain pound. Wow. So in the very, very short future, you could actually do a buy order around here, because we can see this is 1, 2, 3. This is 4 times now it's actually hit this area and gotten support. And so you could do and this is way oversold over here in the hour. So this is something, what'll happen over the next few hours. This is something you could look at. You know, the next area of resistance is up here, which right now 89228. So you're looking at almost 200 pips right here in this zone. Something like that. I could set a tight stop loss. I could set a tight stop loss down here simply because it's 4 times now it's hit and found support at this area. So if it breaks through there, there's a very high probability that it will break much further down. So looking in there for the very short term on this 1 hour candle, that's what that actually shows you. So look at that for a little turnaround. Yep, that could work. But you could set a tight stop loss on something like this, simply because this is a pretty significant area of support right here, which we got confirmation on that a little bit earlier, right? On the 4 hour when we looked at it. See right around here, the same level on the 4 hour. And then we looked at it on the daily and we saw, looking across, it could go down maybe another 80 to 100 pips maybe. In terms of if we're looking at a retracement, this is on the daily chart though. So that's you know, much longer term. When we look at the 1 hour, this is what's going to happen over the next couple of hours, maybe the next 4 or 5 hours. The activity here, we could get a retracement coming back up here. So pay attention to that. Something like that, even though there's a certain amount of risk in that trade. I'm sorry guys, of course somebody decides to test out their car at this time, but that's not going to stop the video. So here we go guys, look out for that. That's not a bad opportunity right there. Okay, so you looked at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different currency pairs for now. I can look at some more a bit later, but I just wanted to do this video for you guys to get a heads up at what I'm looking at now and possible opportunities coming up in the immediate